Welcome to the show. You know, I've got such a diverse circle of products around me. I'm almost thinking this show should be given a name like maybe Gadgets 360. Oh, that is the name of the show. How appropriate, right? Look at the kind of things I have for you on the show today. We've got the Amazon Echo 8, what I believe is the best bang for buck in the entire Echo series. Then we've got a shootout between something I promised you, the Apple HomePod versus the Amazon Studio. And we're going to do this very, very differently. It's going to be a blind test because look, while there are lots and lots of features in each and we'll go through all of those, eventually this comes down to which one sounds better. For that, we've actually got people coming in and we've got a literal blind test that will take place. Then we've got a thermometer, a contactless thermometer. In times of COVID-19, almost every single place, whether you go out to a mall or a shop or you go down to an office or any place that you're entering, they are taking your temperature. But there are different qualities of product. We're trying out a brand new one today and let's see how accurate it really turns out to be. And then a smart lock from Godrej. So like I said, it's a 360 degree of all kinds of categories of gadgets. Let's get started with today's show.
On the show, we check out Alexa on the new Amazon Echo Show 8. How good is it to be your next entertainment hub? Find out. We also pit Apple's HomePod against the Amazon Echo Studio in a blind test and in a complete comparison. Find out which one emerges winner. There's a new breed of thermometers around us. We take a detailed look at Zook's infrared thermometer. And we have our eyes on this smart lock during this lockdown. Find out more on the show today.
Let's start off, of course, with the news coming in from the world of gadgets and gizmos.
One homegrown app is taking on TikTok by the numbers. Mithro, started by an IIT alumnus, has crossed 50 lakh downloads in India. It was started just last month and works in a very similar way to TikTok. It's now one of the top 10 most popular apps in the country on the Google Play Store. TikTok recently received a whole host of negative reviews in India on the App Store. Outside China, TikTok's largest user base is India. After a lot of speculation and rumors, Chinese company Realme has finally launched their smart TVs in India. There are two size variants, 32 inches and 43 inches. They have a HD and Full HD screen respectively and are powered by a MediaTek processor. The Realme TV runs on Android 9 Pie and has Chromecast built in. The 32-inch variant is priced at 12,999 rupees, while the 43-inch variant is priced at 21,999 rupees.
Let's start off our top story, the Amazon Echo Show 8. Now, right in the beginning, I introduced this is the best bang for buck in terms of all Echo Show products. Do you know why? Because I think the Amazon Echo 5 is too small and I think the Studio is a bit too expensive. And this one really is that mid, that center. I'd say this one, if I was to give you an analogy, is a mid-priced flagship phone of the Amazon Echo series. About 8,000-9,000 rupees, and if you get it sometimes when Amazon is doing its deals, you may even get it a little bit cheaper. Looks good, screen is great, everything really works out very well. And I think 8 inches is just about the perfect size. Not too big, not too overwhelming also. But there are many other features we wanted to try out. So here then is our very detailed review.
Amazon is putting on a show yet again, and this time it is with its 8. Meet the Amazon Echo Show 8 that's now in India. This is not the 8th one in their series, but actually 8 denotes the screen size on this. The Amazon Echo Show 8 sits in between the Echo Show 5, which is at 6,999 rupees, and the top of the line Echo Show, which is priced at 16,999 rupees. The Echo Show 8 comes in at 8,999 rupees and is a mid-range device with not just its price but also its screen size. It is 2020, so we want to know, has Alexa got more smart? What all can you do with the smart display? And with Amazon's many smart displays in the market, which is the best fit for your needs? Let's test the Echo Show 8 and we'll get to all these questions. Setting up the Echo Show 8 is pretty simple. The device is intuitive and the prompts on the screen make it easy. You can pair it with the Alexa app on your phone and it's ready to roll. The HD screen on the Echo Show 8 has a resolution of 1280 by 800 pixels, which is the same as its big brother, the Amazon Echo Show. It really makes a difference. The visuals are sharp and the touch screen is nice and responsive. Alexa has got pretty smart and we could talk to her in Hindi. Alexa, तुम कैसी हो?
आपने पूछा, दिल garden हो गया.
Of course, Alexa can do the usual too, news, weather and songs. But using its beautiful 8-inch display would mean watching videos and even from Amazon Prime Video. You can also sing along with Alexa while the lyrics pop up on the screen. We also tried the new edition of trending topics that are on the screen. And it's a good way to watch a quick video or get to know more about a certain topic. Alexa can dim the lights or switch on the geyser as well if you have smart appliances in the house. Amazon has added a whole host of apps including Ola, Zomato, Woot and some apps for kids as well. Alexa can support 30,000 skills and we even asked her to read us a bedtime story. Alexa, tell me a bedtime story.
Here's one from the Panchatantra. The Poor Man's Dream. Once upon a time, a poor man lived in a small town.
The Echo Show 8 is powered by a MediaTek processor. It does well, but you will need a Wi-Fi with good amount of Mbps for this to work at blazing speed. There is a camera on the top right corner for video calls, which is again where the screen comes into use. We tried the hands-free video calling and even though it's a 1 megapixel camera, the clarity was decent. Amazon's drop-in feature is also possible if you have another Echo device. There is a manual shutter to close the camera and even a button to shut the mic. This is great from a privacy standpoint. There are 4 mics on the Echo Show 8 so Alexa can understand you clearly. Behind the device there's also a 3.5mm port to connect your phone or another speaker easily. At its core it is a smart speaker, so how does it fare in terms of sound quality? It does have a more fuller sound than the Echo Show 5. It is good for a small living room and for casual listening. Amazon's more premium Echo Show has much better sound though. So which of Amazon's smart displays is worth your money? The Echo Show 5 is great for its price, but the Echo Show 8 takes the 5's best ideas and wraps it up with better sound. Echo Show is meant for large living rooms, but at the base of all the smart displays is Alexa, which has got much smarter. The Echo Show 8 is an entertainment hub, and if you are looking at making your home a bit more smart, you can think of this. Amazon's growing crowd of speakers are ready for your command.
And now we're going to do a blind test. Now, last week we'd done the Apple HomePod and I promised you that we'd actually try it out acoustically against the Amazon Echo Studio. Now, this is really an important one. Remember, we are of course going to talk about features on the HomePod versus on the Studio, and we will do a comparison of those. But eventually the reason we are doing it is because we found the Apple HomePod to be a very sweet sounding. You know, the way they've got the tweeter, the way they've actually got the bass and the woofer, the positioning of it all, it sounded absolutely fantastic. So we said something that is priced almost around that same price point, let's take that from the Amazon series and try it out. So we actually go for a blind test. We've got Sanjana and Rubina doing the story for us.
Hi, I'm Sanjana.
Hi, I'm Rubina, and if you are in the market to buy a new speaker and your budget is 20,000 rupees, there are only 2 options, right Sanjana?
Yes, and I have been experiencing the Apple HomePod for the last 10 days or so, and I'm going to give you my personal experience and review with it.
And I have been using the Echo Studio for a while now. It is a very solid speaker and I'm going to give you all the pros and cons of it.
So what we're going to do is we have a couple of parameters that we've come out with and we're going to compare the two in this shootout. So let's start.
The Echo Studio's fabric covered front makes it well with almost any decor. It is discreet and the physical controls on top make it easy to control without having to call out the voice assistant for simple tasks like, changing the volume or pause music.
Well, I have been using the Apple HomePod and the design is pretty sleek. You can see it behind me. It's so chic. It looks so minimal. There are no buttons on top. It has a glass panel on top. It is a cylindrical design, but this looks beautiful whether it's in your bedroom or even in your living room.
The Echo Studio packs enough power to shake a room, and I can vouch for that. The smart speaker uses 5 speakers to create room-filling sound. It can automatically tune itself to create the best output for a room, and with the right content, you can also play Dolby Atmos content on it.
Sounds good, Rubina, but I have a feeling the Apple HomePod really takes the cake here. Well, the sound, Apple has done something really different from traditional speakers. What it's done is the woofer is on top, the tweeters are below. Each tweeter has its own amplifier. But what does all this mean in terms of sound quality? Well, it blew my mind. The sound quality from the HomePod is truly amazing. It has spatial awareness, which means that it fills the room with 360-degree audio. If you keep the HomePod near a wall, it will actually deflect the audio towards the other side and really fill up the room with great audio. Okay, Rubina, so in terms of voice assistants, we know it's Alexa versus Siri.
Right, Sanjana, but compared to Siri, the Alexa voice assistant is much more full features and integrated with a lot more products and services, especially in India. Like, want to call a cab from your smart speaker? Your Echo Studio will do it.
Well, Siri can also actually do a whole lot. It can bring up the news, it can bring up the weather. There's a lot of stuff that it can do. It can play up Apple Music using AirPlay 2. There's also Spotify that you can connect to using AirPlay 2.
The Echo Studio is priced at 22,999 rupees, which makes it a very good deal if you have already invested in the Alexa ecosystem.
Well, the Apple HomePod comes in slightly cheaper at 19,900 rupees, and we can't complain about that. Now, Apple HomePod is actually not a very new product. It has been around in the US, but it's finally come to India, and it's come at a slightly cheaper price tag. Okay, so that brings us to the verdict. Rubina, is this apples and oranges?
Totally an apples to oranges comparison.
But look at them together, Rubina. I mean, the HomePod really takes the cake here in terms of design. It's chic, it's sleek. It looks so much better than the Echo Studio.
I agree that Echo Studio is not as appealing in terms of looks as compared to the HomePod, but it is a lot more accessible. The accessibility value in the Echo Studio makes it a very good value for money product.
I couldn't agree more, Rubina. Actually, the 3.5mm jack isn't there on the HomePod, nor does it have Bluetooth. So it does miss out on these two things, but Apple AirPlay 2 is there and it makes it pretty seamless if you're in the Apple ecosystem. Plus, you cannot ignore the fact that this is a great sounding speaker. If you are an audiophile, then the Apple HomePod is for you.
But there are no compromises made in terms of audio quality in the Echo Studio, and it makes for a great speaker if you want entertainment in your life.
And that's not all. It's time to pit these speakers against each other in a blind test and see which one do these people pick. Let's go.
Hey boy, every time you look at me. Hey boy, every time you look at me, I know you see my knees go weak, trying to keep it.
Well, the people have spoken. The Apple HomePod won hands down here.
So you've seen it all, you've actually heard it all, and I'm sure you've experienced it on your own. I think there's no one who's watching the show right now who's not got their temperature taken by an infrared contactless thermometer. But how do these work? What's the technology? How accurate are they? I mean, there are people that are now staking their lives on these thermometers. There are people who are actually saying, this is how you can keep yourself and your family safe. Should you get one of these for your own home use? Is this more for enterprise and industry use? We've got answers to all those questions.
Greeted by this gun-like device every time you enter a building? Well, a new breed of thermometers are seeing the light of the day. These are non-contact infrared thermometers that seem to be the need of the hour during the corona crisis. Well, today we have got our hands on Zook's infrared temp to check out everything new with infrared thermometers and just how accurate they are. French tech company Zook has just come out with what they call a medical grade infrared thermometer. How it works is simple. You point it away from your forehead, just around 3 to 5 centimeters, and press the trigger button once and it records the temperature. There's a little beep that accompanies the temperature being taken, and it takes about 2 seconds to take the temperature. 3 beeps in succession means the person has fever, and the LED screen becomes red as well in this case. There are no wires, it's super light and fuss-free, it runs on 2 AAA batteries. Zook has packed in minimal functions. You can change the temperature unit between Celsius and Fahrenheit, and there's also a memory function that can record up to 30% temperature on the device. You can also measure the temperature of an object if needed. There's an object temperature mode on the thermometer for this. All the modes and functions can be changed from the main trigger button by long pressing. There is a 3-color LED display that denotes different temperature readings. Zook claims this is FDA and European CE certified. We found the temperature readings to be pretty accurate, especially when compared to the good old mercury thermometer. There was a point when mercury thermometers were considered gold standard in taking fever, but digital thermometers soon replaced that and used a circuit, which means they rely on the effectiveness of a microchip, and the basic principle is that they measure temperature based on metal's resistance to heat. But digital thermometers also have contact and there is a risk of spread of infection. Infrared thermometers don't allow for that because they are contactless. They work on the premise of infrared rays capturing the temperature in real time. There is a single chip microcomputer inside this and also a digital to analog converter. Electromagnetic interference can cause inaccurate results in infrared thermometers like these. So make sure your phone, microwave, Wi-Fi router, TV, cordless phone or any electrical device is all completely away when using an infrared thermometer. All in all, Zook's infrared thermometer is priced at 3,999 rupees, which seems a little steep, but it is a safe and very effective device. And while infrared thermometers become the new standard, this temperature gun manages to hold its own even in the blistering heat.
Let's take a quick break right now. On the show, when we come back, lots more happening. And now let's move on to something that is part and parcel of every smart house, and that is a smart lock. Godrej comes up with one of the first ones that actually has all the right features that you want, and they've customized it totally for India. This is the Godrej Space Tech lock, and it's got all the things you really need. Biometrics, a passcode, and everything else. Let's see how this one works.
The lockdown might still be in place, but that's not stopping tech companies from launching innovative solutions that may be the need of the hour. Today, we have got our hands on this smart lock by Godrej to try, put to test and really see if it can lock us down. Godrej locks are known for their locking solutions and have been in the business for 122 years. They have now finally come out with one lock that can make us walk through the doors without a key. This is Space Tech, an electronic lock made in India that uses a passcode or biometrics to unlock. To turn the lock on, just slide your hand on the panel in front and the keypad comes to light. Now enter the password that you have set followed by the star key and voila, the door will open. There's a small fingerprint reader on top. It's not the most convenient to reach, but it does the job as well. In case your finger is injured or you've forgotten the password, you can open the door with a manual key as well. But the idea here is to go keyless, and you can create up to a 12-number passcode and can even have a one-time password for temporary use. There is a privacy button on the back, which means if turned on, no one will be able to enter the door from the outside except by using the key. The biometric is simple to set up and can register multiple fingerprints of family members. It is a 360-degree fingerprint scanner, so it can recognize fingertips at any angle. The security in the lock seems pretty robust. If someone enters the wrong password many times or tries various fingerprints or even tries to tamper with the lock itself, an alarm will start ringing. The lock works on 4 AA batteries, and in case you have come home after many months and the battery is low, you can quickly charge the lock with a power bank with a Type-C USB port, which is on the underside of this lock. Space Tech can pair with Godrej's accessories like the remote video door phone module. With a keyless gateway, Space Tech is as futuristic as its name makes it sound. Although ironically, the Godrej Space Tech is break-the-bank expensive at 43,000 rupees. But if you are looking at a futuristic security system, it might be time to open your doors to something like this.
That then is the show for this week, but do remember, we've got some really interesting stuff happening next week, including the Microsoft Surface portfolio is going to be with us, and we'll take a deep look into that. I'll see you next week right here on the show.